Let's dive straight into the journos, please.
Garth,
Lockie.
fourth Bathurst win with 4 different co-drivers.
Yep.
How does this one compare to the other 3?
Don't know yet, Lockie. It's only sinking in, but 2020 has obviously been a very, very different year. For most of the co-drivers, we've been sitting on the couch for 6 months waiting for this event. And then obviously preparation's been very different, particularly for those of us coming out of Victoria, having to go in quarantine for 2 weeks and then be away from the family for an extended period of time. Certainly not as much as the Victorian team's been on the road, but this one will be very special for sure. Sharing it with Shane, it was a real motivation for me when I joined the team last year, was to help, if I could, help Shane secure his first win. And it was just really cool to sit back and watch those last 60 laps and watch how he managed the race, managed the stints, and obviously Cam was very, very fast. So it's a real pleasure to be part of that. So yeah, I'll enjoy this one.
Cam, how hard were those last couple of restarts for you? Because you're right back with Shane, particularly off the restarts. The last one, I think you even gave him a couple of little love taps there, and then it looks like you had to brake, and then Shane's just gone and got that little bit of impetus that he needed. Was it frustrating from your point of view that you just couldn't quite get there?
Look, I gave it absolutely everything I could, and they just did a little bit better job than us. But those safety cars were, probably just another chance for me to try and, get in front somehow. So the first one is probably a bit vulnerable at 1 and 2, and over the top, I was close enough to I thought maybe have a lunge, but just not quite there. And then the next one, I thought I might as well just try and push him the whole way until he goes, which it kind of half worked, but he was, just puts his car in the right spots, which makes it bloody hard. But hats off to their team. They drove awesome all day and they deserve the win. They didn't put a foot wrong and had a fast car.
Shane, you would have imagined what it was going to be like to stand on that podium. Yeah. How far removed to what you had envisaged was it?
Yeah, it was weird with no crowd and stuff, and obviously experienced it. I've been on the podium a couple of times in seconds and thirds and stuff, but it's still a special feeling. It still means as much as every other year, I think. Like, the intensity of the race was crazy, the build-up, how fast everyone was, and yeah, it still means quite a lot. And, hopefully next year, big crowds again and can enjoy it again. But, it doesn't take anything away from it. But it would have been great doing that victory lap, having all the crowd up there and stuff. It was a bit lonely, but I was going to stop up top. I thought, I was planning a skid, and there's a bunch of cops up there, and no good. So brought it down.
Still looking for you.
Yeah, still looking for me from Thursday. But it's cool. Like, I'm just over the moon with it, and pretty cool to get one.
For the guys that were in the car when the rain started coming down, can you talk us through how treacherous the track was at that time?
Yeah, it was crazy. On the safety car lap, it started, and then obviously as we started at the cutting, then obviously as we got to the back straight, it was starting to rain there. So just had no idea what it was going to be like, and I think I was third at that stage, and I just went a little bit later than the guys in front where they were braking, and if they made it around the corner, I'd get off the brake and try and go a bit quicker, and it was working. But Fabian was really quick, and then I got to the front and was just lost. When you're the pioneer, you just don't know where the grip is, and got to the front, and then Fabian caught me, and I thought I was in trouble, but that set us up in the race because, as we know, in these cars, it's impossible to pass, really. So just every time Cam caught me, just put the car in the right spot for a couple of laps. He got hot, and then I got on with my day. But, the rain was one of the toughest things.
Yeah, it was certainly stressful. The safety car probably, Cam had done a good job getting a bit of a buffer, and I got in the car, and I certainly being in someone else's car in that situation, it was I'd tell you, it wasn't that much of a nice feeling, being the pioneer, and the conditions were exceptionally tough. Like, it was different corner to corner. Normally it's top of the mountain one, bottom the other, but it was literally corner to corner where you'd have massive grip, and then you'd have, obviously treacherous conditions at the next corner, and then it'd dry out very quickly. And I certainly, thinking back to that crucial moment, tough, but I did all I could. Been sitting on the couch for 6 months in Cam's car, and with those boys behind me in those conditions, I certainly knew I could throw it away very easily. So yeah, I don't know. It's just difficult, but I did all I could. But Shane just snuck under me there.
Shane, well done. Just to go back to that cool-down lap, can you talk us through just like picking up that Holden flag, how that unfolded, and also like what that side of it means to you, having been in the factory team the last couple of years?
Yeah, I was thinking I'll pick up the checkered flag, and I saw the guy there, and I thought I'll just stop and grab it. And yeah, it's pretty significant for Holden to farewell them this way as a factory team and as an official race team. But yeah, the last few years, starting at Techno, I had some troubles, joined Holden, and just remember, Simon and Gerald and the team and all the Holden guys, how welcoming they were, and you really felt like a family. You felt like a Holden driver, and it was it's been pretty cool to be part of. And then, becoming the factory team 2 or 3 years ago, and having that weight on your shoulders and representing them like that is it's pretty special. And to win here on the last one in a Holden is pretty cool. So yeah, I think it will look pretty good. I haven't seen many good photos of it yet, but hopefully it looks cool with the flag at the top, and yeah, hopefully it's a good way to send it off.
Chaz, in that final stint there, especially with all the safety car restarts, you had the guys in front of you on better tyres, and you also had Fabs behind you with slightly better tyre life. So what was that like, and were you nervous after those restarts, having to fend them off and try and chase these boys in front?
Oh, first of all, I was probably pretty excited to be that close to them, and then also be able to be a bit of a fan and kind of watch the dying ends there. So as you're the third guy, you always want to see the first two guys get into each other and create an opportunity, but they were bloody quick. They were disappearing away from me pretty quickly. The first restart, I probably didn't warm my tyres up enough. I thought the lower the better, and I was probably a bit more vulnerable to Fabs in that one. But in the last one, I tried really hard to get the pressure back into the tyres, and then my car, I was probably pretty comfortable to Fabs. But these guys next to us, they did a fantastic job all weekend in the race. They were really quick at the end. I just was coming over the rise on Conrod, and I could see him in the chase, and then I could see him just getting further and further away. So there was parts of our car that was pretty quick, but we just weren't as consistent through the day like those guys were. So overall, we were pretty stoked as a team. Another Holden team to get on the podium. It means a lot for the Walkinshaw Andretti United guys to finish off the 2020 season as well. And a raps to Luffy. He was super solid in all conditions. I was glad not to be in the car when it was raining. It's pretty awesome to get another podium with Luffy here.
And just quickly, Shane, the 97 car pretty much led from lap 56 onwards. I know that GT did a pretty good job, but where do you rank that amongst your drives in Supercars so far?
That's what we thought would win today, was track position and no mistakes. And yeah, I did that stint behind Slady, and I tried to push, but it's just a waste of time. You get hot, lose aero. So did everything I could to save fuel, and got close to jumping them, but couldn't. But the rain made all the difference. Getting that track position and then making all the right calls, strategy to not give it up, and gave Garth a good gap, but he maintained it. And then when I got in, you could just bring everything in much nicer, and it made a good difference. But just no mistakes all day was the key.
One for Garth first. I think you've already touched on it a little bit, but you've been involved in the last 3 factory Holden Bathurst wins, and also the last win for both of the Holden racing teams, basically. That must mean something.
Yeah, I didn't realise that. So, look, I mean, I've been fortunate to have had a very strong relationship with Holden since 1998, and it's been a real honour to drive their race cars in for various teams, and obviously being part of the factory Holden team, originally at Walkinshaw's, and then now at 888. It's very, very special. I mean, Bathurst means a lot to the Holden people. One of the most fondest memories I've had for my career is when we took the trophy into head office after 2011 with Nick, and we were in at Fisherman's Bend, and just how excited everyone was that we had Bathurst success, and even going over to Elizabeth to the manufacturing plant and doing the same thing over there. Just seeing the line workers getting a photo with the trophy was very, very special. So, look, I feel incredibly honoured. It is a sad end to a fantastic brand, but I'm glad that we were able to give a shed of light in these final moments, because there's only a couple of months left. So really, really honoured to be part of it.
Cam, for you, second in the championship this year, another race win 3 weeks ago. Do you feel like this season is a coming of age for you?
I think we've just taken another step, really. I guess last year had a lot of pace and just like that consistency. And then, I think this year is just another building on that. So I think the whole period away as a team has been really good for us. Seeing the engineers really every day, your mechanics, and just more dialogue has probably helped us, I think. So the cars are slowly getting to where we need them to be and doing what we need them to do. And, probably last, I guess, from Townsville onwards, we've probably turned a corner. So it's in a happy place at the moment, the car, and it's doing what we need. Need a little bit more, but I think this year was really good for us as a team. Second for the year's pretty bloody good, and second today is amazing.
You're basically the team leader there now at Tickford. I think it'd be fair to say. What's that like?
I don't really think about it, to be honest. Even in the past, I guess with Frosty, he was a team leader, and then maybe Chaz last year, but we'd all kind of just work together anyway. There's no real favourite car. We're just always trying to push each other and want what's best for the team. So, results-wise, I've probably been the best at Tickford this year, but all the drivers have had a part to play in that, and all the engineers and the whole team. So, we're pushing together as one, and that's where the improvements are coming.
And Chaz, for you, now that the first season at Walkinshaw Andretti United is done for you, where did that square with your expectations coming into the season?
To be honest, I think the way we progressed through the year was something pretty awesome for us. To be able to get some podiums with the car this year. Pole position, stuff like that. We've been a little bit hit and miss. Tail and Bend, we lost our way a little bit, but then come here this weekend and have a car good enough for the second row, and obviously good enough to get on the podium today is something pretty cool too. So for us, I think this year was always going to be a building year, work out kind of what kind of package we got. Obviously, it didn't go to plan with the COVIDs, and being on the road as a team and trying to develop a car forward to try and win races has been super tricky. But a credit to all our guys, on the road and back at the workshop, to be able to make some parts for us to fit to cars, within a race weekend to another race weekend, a week out, and improve the car is something pretty special. So for us as a team, we're really excited about the off season. I think we've got a pretty good direction on some of the things we need to work on, and obviously having Luffy here this weekend, and we swung a lot with the car through practice, really trying to use this last weekend of the year to really kind of cement those things we need to work on. So overall, it's been a really good year for us.
Warren, it'd be rude not to have you say something whilst you're up here, but another podium for Bathurst. How does that feel? And what's your thoughts also, because you've been a long time Holden driver and a factory driver as well?
Look, obviously, as I said yesterday in the press conference, whenever you stand on the podium on a Sunday afternoon and spray champagne, it's never been a bad weekend. So to be able to sort of deliver that to the team, and obviously to be able to share it with Chaz has obviously been very special. Obviously, everyone's already spoken about sort of the sacrifice that the teams and the families and the fans and everyone have had to make. So to be able to sort of come here and still do what we love to be able to do and still be able to drive race cars, I think probably puts this towards the top in terms of the podiums that I've had, and sort of same as what GT said. I suppose the whole part of Holden. I've had some great sort of success here with Holden brand over the years, and to be able to sort of stand on the podium and to share it with these guys, to sort of finish off that sort of the chapter of Holden is very special.
Just the one question from our remote journos, Bruce Newton. Cam, can we please get clarification on the cool suit issue and how that impacted those last stints?
The boys just told me it wasn't working for my my first stint this morning, so don't know what happened. I don't know if it wasn't plugged in properly and then it froze. Not really too sure yet, but didn't run the cool suit obviously for the last 3 stints, and each lap was a qualifier, so pretty buggered after that race. That's probably one of the toughest races I've done, I reckon.
Would you say that's the most? Would you say it's the most knackered you felt getting out of a race car?
Yeah, I felt terrible in the car. Those last safety cars, I wasn't really wanting to warm the tyres because I was feeling sick and stuff like that. So just wanted the thing to be over. But I threw everything at it to try and pass him. But yeah, wasn't to be.
Good effort. Will, I've got to ask you about next year while we're here. You reckon you'll be a co-driver next year? You're going to put everything back into getting a main game seat?
I'd love to be out racing full time again. So, fingers crossed I can make that happen. But, we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully next couple of weeks we'll find out.
Okay. So nothing in stone just yet?
Maybe, but we'll see.
Well, best of luck with that.
Cheers.
Hey, guys, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it all. Well done today. Go and enjoy it.